we tried to kind of picture what this offense would look like, and Cade Cunningham and his play style to me was always going to be, he was going to play that Devin Booker role, especially with his playmaking, and you saw Devin's playmaking improve when Monty was there. He turned into more of a point guard, which is great for his development. And Booner was texting me, and he's like, you noticed that too? And I'm like, yeah, dude, like that's something I've been talking about. So Booner's in the same boat, but for you see that as well? Like Cade and what Monty envisioned, you see it playing out. Yep. Like Cade's orchestrating, he's got the ball usage with his mid-range ability, his playmaking. He's playing that Devin Booker role, man, and he's excelling at it.
Look, when the Speakeasy podcast actually used to do their pod here about 2-3 years ago, the first show that I was ever on, shout out to Easy for that. I always thank him for that. We all talked about what were our player comps for Cade Cunningham. Mine was Devin Booker. I said because of it, exactly the things you talked about, his playmaking ability. He didn't have necessarily like dynamite athleticism, but he still found a way to get things done and get anywhere he wanted to on the court, even without elite speed. And then that mid-range, I was looking at it in college just like, yo, in the NBA, people can feast there because nobody really defends that well. You really can't defend the mid-range well. So if you can hit that shot, you're going to be elite. And what did we talk about with that Suns breakthrough documentary that we kept watching? That if Monty Williams could bring that 0.5-second offense to Detroit, that it was going to absolutely help Cade. And we talked about it several times on this show, that it was going to, if he was going to bring the same thing here, that it was going to reduce Cade's usage as it relates to how on ball that he was. And it was going to give him some off-ball reps, which also gives him an opportunity to be a lot more Devin Booker-like.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that. I think that it's also instilling confidence in the other players as well as balancing the floor for the Detroit Pistons. It's why you can have a Killian Hayes in the lineup. Whether or not he's hitting those shots, we want him to hit those shots. But when you can play Cade off ball in that kind of Devin Booker role, then it honestly gives you the best of both worlds of being able to play Killian to his strength,
right,
which is playmaking, and then he can also defend on the other end. And then having Cade be one of those outlets, especially while we're waiting for Bojan Bogdanovic to get back. We got a flamethrower that's not even in the lineup right now.